Ooh.
Ignitions activate.
Is Ignition even a publisher anymore?
I don't think they are. Nothing
No?
I've seen in a while.
No.
And they were good for bringing out games like this to the states. Good
yeah,
on
for
them.
all of 7 people to buy.
Muramasa did okay. It's sold on a couple different platforms now.
Yeah, but now it falls under Axis.
Yeah. Do you remember though? And we've talked about this before, like in these other recordings, when they were gonna do the Muramasa and Odin Sphere combo on Vita, and then it just became Muramasa. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about the future now, because we're in the past. We're in the original version of Muramasa right now.
Yeah, this is the fucking OG Wii version, and
Yeah, we are totally in the original version.
yeah, and with us you've got
Not even stopping. He's been doing that ever since we started recording.
Jesus, and you've got on tap with us right now. You've got yours truly, George Boy Zax. We've got Andrew, and we've got Sarah, and this is our continuing choice to. Also, can we note you don't have to do the tutorial. It's fucking there, done. You
Yes.
just skip that motherfucker.
I don't want that. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, but in our quest to go ahead and get plays done of all the Vanillaware games, our next one on the list, we got Muramasa, and arguably, if I can just go out and say it right now, this is my favorite Vanillaware title. It's got the right mixture of everything and, like, Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it was Metroidvania to a fault, because I did the exact same thing I do in other games like that. I always thought I'd forgotten something or didn't look somewhere for something, and so like I just repeatedly would just jump and try to like climb and find stuff. I don't know. It's just
I will say, yeah, it was
the
to
possibility of knowing if something's there, not always like, oh man, like I wish it was just like Odin Sphere. I could just run one straight line, you know.
There are segments of it where there are, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and not only that, like the respawn points for enemies, they're generous, and not only are they, and not generous in your favor, generous is like this game seeks your fucking destruction. It like
can,
relishes
sure.
in fucking eating out your culo. So I will say though that the combat, a lot of what was the big flack that this game really got when it first came out was that jump was the up.
Oh, I know. I remember that.
Dude.
that was controversial for the time. I do recall that.
And it's so funny because like we're going back right now and we're talking about it, and I don't like. Okay, so you do have it on Vita, right? Do they still keep it that way?
Not that I recall. No, I'm pretty sure you could use the A button or X button on Vita to jump. I'm fairly certain of that.
Man, because yeah, I remember like it affected review scores.
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
I think
People are so ingrained with doing things a certain way. You can't change that. It's like saying if you wanted to play a shooter and that you had to aim using the right trigger. You know, like you just don't do that. You know, people are so ingrained with a certain way of doing things. I don't know. It's kind of crazy how they have to. Yeah, I mean they can't
had to
adapt
cater
something
to
different.
that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, but I
yeah.
will say though that like, dude, the combat's probably the smoothest here, because like
It is super
of any
smooth.
game. Yeah, it's actually. I don't know what the word is. I guess it stands. It
very
stands as
fluid.
like
It's very liquid, yeah.
But you can actually do it without any kind of hang-ups. Like I feel like any other Vanillaware game they've done, it's been good, but there's been hang-ups. This one never seemed like it had any issues. Like it was completely competent in terms of like the mechanics.
The one, I think what really works for it too, because the one thing that's like a trend in every single Vanillaware beat 'em up is that there's always some sort of limit or caveat to like a player launching an onslaught of attacks. Like in Odin Sphere, you got winded. You can get winded, I believe, in Dragon's Crown too, and you get and you get winded in Princess Crown. Here, your fucking sword breaks, but when your sword does break, you already have like another sword handy, so you can act. It's like you know how I was talking about in Odin Sphere, how they're like being tactful was like really shitty. It didn't feel like I was being strategic, more or less, as I was having to deal with like a chore. Here, I had to make sure that I banked the right swords in my equipment, and that like I like every segment that I went into, and you'll find yourself doing it more and more as you advance. Like right here, fuck sword.
There it goes.
Bam. In a matter of seconds. I wasn't winded or vulnerable.
Nope.
I just needed to evade and immediately switch to a new alternative. And like,
And of course, when that happens, right, just like the legendary sword of Muramasa, it requires the blood of your enemies to sort of be restored.
It's true. Yeah. And I guess if anything, this compared to any other Vanillaware game, I think this inspired the best art. I mean, not just in game, but like just, you know, after the fact or in marketing. Like they had such amazing artwork that came out of this. I don't think you really see that with any of their other games, even like Dragon's Crown.
Also,
like their
I don't
most
know
recent release.
Speaking of, I don't know if you just noticed on the scarecrow that was there, it's the classic Hano Hano Muheshi sort of character face.
I didn't notice that. What I was noticing is I'm trying to actually count how many parallax layers are in motion. Because if you look at the fucking hills, there's like
at least
9.
6, yeah.
Dude, like, and you don't even see this kind of detail in Dragon's Crown. And
No, that was something that I noticed.
Yeah, and this is on Wii hardware.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, this is the white box that apparently is 2 duct tape GameCubes. Like that's the most impressive.
Yeah, where Odin Sphere specifically would chunk down with the larger sprites, the
Absolutely.
Wii did it without breaking a sweat. It was great.
Yeah, like it's like it still amazes me like how and like I don't think I've really encountered any slowdown even when like enemies flooded the fucking screen, but like and you know what's funny is I feel like as far as like a spiritual successor to Muramasa was and arguably and I'll go on record to argue it all the live long fucking day because I think that it took what Muramasa did and did it better, but that was a Dust and Elysian Tale. And that they kind of both go on the same concept to where they, by like restricting everything to a 2-dimensional plane, but still using the same kind of sensibilities, it kind of feels like a new age take on the new Ninja Gaidens. Just with all the, because there are so many different combos that you can do. There's so many different prop ups and launches, and there's pairing. Like, I don't remember. I want to say there's pairing in the other games, but none of them feel I would say organic or let alone intuitive as they do in Muramasa. If anything, what sucks is like if I were to take like one thing that like stops this from being like one of my favorite games is the complete fuck all a direction that they have with like trying to tell players where to go and making the world too goddamn expansive. Because like a lot of it, I'm not, and I don't say this in like the wrong way, but like there's nothing in the world that kind of telegraphs or even gives you any direction as to where to go. It just tells you, oh, you need to do this. But there isn't an arrow, there isn't a waypoint, there isn't anything narratively going on. You're just running around and beating up on dudes and then basically marking everything on the map. And because me and Andrew were talking about it, like, he made a great point. It's to a fault that we're like hopping and bumping against all these fucking, these sultry, moist walls with the stages just so we can find out if something happens.
Seeing where stuff is, yeah.
Speaking of parallax, the parallax in the forest here, you can really see that there's just so much.
Yeah,
so
like
much
right
depth,
here, there's
right?
at least 6, I counting right now, 6 just in the village, just in the foreground. Like, okay, you guys notice back in that interior? Like the interior, like right here. This is the exact level of detail in Odin Sphere. Like, maybe 2 layers, that's it. Here, there's like fucking 9! There's like some dude, and it goes up higher! There's some shit going on. And the colors, man, the colors like invoke a real sense of, like, especially when they're
gorgeous, yeah.
When they're trying to carry that same sort of cultural tone of like the Japanese culture that it relishes in. Man, that color is just fucking
It's pretty great. Now the next, I think it's this next exit here, one of my favorite effects ever. We'll see it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I will say this, that like
they're pretty generous with the combo system too. Like you can
Yeah.
have a little bit of a pause in between, but still keep your combo going, which is nice.
Yeah, it's just that like the easiest way to chain combos and get them going. Like I had a 52 earlier, but the
66
easiest,
I saw, yeah.
Yeah, the easiest way to do that is to turn it into an aerial game. But
And
like
just bounce them around, yeah.
Yeah, but like turning it into an aerial game, like, dude, that fucking that up.
Yes,
Here we go.
it
Here's
is.
some Odin.
Oh, so cool.
It is pretty sweet.
All right. So I'll be hitting these checkpoints, and
So, yeah, but I was gonna ask Sarah. So, what is it about this that you like so much? Just like the spherical kind of like just
Yeah, it's just
presentation of it,
the
or-
perspective. Like it totally changes how the game is viewed a little bit, and it really sort of it separates it from the main area, so that you know that something is about to happen, and you can prepare yourself. Kind of, you know that oh, here comes an important part to what I'm doing right now. But I mean, visually though, there's nothing else quite like it. Just in terms of 2D,
yeah.
it's pretty great.
the one complaint that I had also too, if you guys notice, you can't save without quitting to the screen.
Yeah.
Really?
It-
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
If you try to save, like where it doesn't give you an option to continue, it just takes you right back to the title screen.
And you go
And
right
see-
back. Yeah.
I was really debating on whether or not I should show the other character, but his is not as action oriented though. Is Momohime?
Momohime, yeah. The Peach Princess, as it turns out.
Dude, have you ever heard of the Japanese folktale Momotaro?
No.
Oh, you have it? With the little peach boy that goes back to save the original Oh, dude. You know what's funny? Is that there is actually a Super Mario OVA done of these Japanese folktales. And where, like,
Really?
yeah, and, like, the Hammer brothers are the grandparents that were raising Princess Peach, but then they were
Wait,
kidnapped.
hold on. Yeah, I vaguely remember this from something.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Okay.
man. I'm going to show note it. I'm going to show note. It's going to
Show notes.
show note it in a shitty VHS glory. Man, so, like, if you really had to fucking pig down, like, knuckle down with only one of these dudes in your bedroom, which one?
Well,
Definitely
Momohime,
evil.
obviously.
Yeah. Definitely
No,
would be
dudes.
Evil Monk. Evil Monk's got a crazy mouth.
Yeah, but look at this dude right here. He's got...
Yeah.
I dig that facial hair.
Oh,
I think he would be
he's got
really good at
going
just...
on, right?
I'd trust him to make me bed and breakfast more than the other dude.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that expression.
No, dude, them brows. Look at that. He's so pissed that his fucking eyes are like.
Eternally scowling.
Yeah, well, no, it's not. It's like putting him. It's putting his entire face at an obtuse angle, even though he's like completely like angled. He's got an equilibrium. I don't know. It's just weird. Like
Didn't they
that-
have like
that-
didn't they have like a brand of clothing with this exact same symbol, like a flame
Junko
looking thing
jeans?
with like crease? I don't know, man, but it looks something like that.
Oh snap! And this is Junko
Yep.
jeans, dude. Have we made the link? Is that the missing link? I don't know. So I will say this too, like it's really awesome, but man, that exposition, dude, goes on, and like they're not speaking in like they're speaking in full traditional Japanese, not the more modern Japanese. So there's a big drawl on and like lengthy amount of like fucking speech going on. So this dude's the very first boss, Blue Monk.
Mhm.
And pretty simple in terms of patterns, but like this is actually my least favorite part of Muramasa as well, aside from the like confusing world layout.
This
What,
boss
the
is not
bosses?
big enough at all.
Well,
This boss needs to be taking up the entire screen.
yeah,
the
'cause,
Kraken.
like, I
the
believe,
Kraken later.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
other dude, like the other playable character, he fights like a giant dragon that's like screen covering, but it's not even like the size or the threat of the boss. It's just fucking how long I have to fight him. He's like the bosses take entirely way too much damage. Even when you advance and you get newer equipment, way too much damage. Like, dude, he's got like 3 goddamn bars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so like I remember now. The little bar on the top is his total life.
Yeah, he's got like 3-4 bars, dude. And you know,
This guy,
like,
yeah, he's got 3.
and he's already cycled through his entire arsenal of moves.
And those swords are breaking pretty quick too.
Exactly. Like he takes like and like there's no way to grind or otherwise progress in
No.
Muramasa. Like Muramasa is very linear. Like until like I would say halfway through when you can move around and do more stuff. But like dude, there at some point like slashing and coming up with new ways to slash, it's gonna get old. Especially like when really I'm you know, this is like, I don't like boss fights that feel like a chore. And that's the one thing that I think Muramasa is full of. Everything, like, I love combat. I love fighting, like, mobs of enemies. That's so fun. But, like, the bosses, like, I feel like they almost kill the momentum.
I just don't think you have the combat. You don't have the combat skills necessary to fight a boss. I think you have more skills to fight on mobs of enemies, but just one singular boss, it feels like you have too much. Like half time you're hitting them, you're just going off to the other side of the screen when you're doing so. You know what I mean? It's hard to centralize your attacks.
No, it's like it really. And this boss, he's very ground and slow heavy.
Yeah.
And like he does a lot of different like aerial attacks. Like he does that stomp, and then he does that body slam.
I love the dive. I just want a giant Cyclops monk to dive around everywhere. It's fun.
Yeah. So like,
granted, the first boss, you're right. There's a bit of tedium to it, but once you start forging swords, which I'm sure we'll get into very shortly.
There's not a whole lot of opportunity to do that at the very beginning, and
not in the beginning. You're right, but later on, it becomes less of a chore.
Yeah, and see, there's not a whole lot of consequence for losing to a boss. They just throw you right back outside the gate and like fight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, to me, in a very action-heavy game, like this is supposed to be the pinnacle. This is what's supposed to be that pot at the end of the rainbow that you psych yourself out for. And it's really anticlimactic. So, I don't know. Just some 2 cents kind of thrown in. But, you know, I will say, too, fucking, because, like, I think Dragon's Crown is the only multiplayer, Vanillaware game. Because I was going to mention, too, like, I kind of feel like this game would have definitely been fun with multiplayer. But, I don't know, do you think that would have broken the balance like you were talking about in Odin Sphere, Sarah?
I think so, yeah.
See, I'm just curious because, like, and we'll get to that when we do Dragon's Crown. Like, what makes Dragon's Crown work as a multiplayer versus all the other Vanillaware games?
I think mostly it's because of the quest-based system.
True. And, you know, I like the caveat. I like Dragon's, and we'll get into that. I don't want to spoil too much of Dragon's Crown on Muramasa, but I feel like there's a system that does a good job of balancing out rewards with consequence over your performance. Here, you're just fucking hammer down, slashing and smashing. Oh man, I do enjoy though that, like, you know, for a Japanese game that's heavily rooted in like old school difficulty, like a lot of the resources that I expended in my last fight that was failed, I did not lose permanently. I kept them, so I'm still able to fucking run and do that. I don't think I used it at all, even in this video, and I still don't know what it does. What the fuck does a bamboo flask do, Sarah?
It's healing.
It is? Okay, so that is what I'm using for healing. Huh.
You can actually cycle through those, I think, with a certain button. If you've got more than one. Pretty sure.
Did not know. Yeah, no, I know you can cycle through them. I did that. It's just that I don't feel like they do the best job of, like, fucking explaining it. I don't know.
Well, you did skip the tutorial.
Hey, the tutorial didn't
that.
exactly cover the items, if we could be fair.
Yes, it did. What are you talking about?
I don't remember covering the specifics of, like, well, this is what this item does.
I'm pretty sure it did. Not what the item does, but just that they're there.
You're there. How about that?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, and now's probably more than a good a time than any. We'll go ahead and bring it up while I'm putting the fucking smackdown in this already, like, overstated welcome ass boss. You guys know what's happening this month? You guys know what's a big old that's happening with us?
It's not our anniversary, is it?
Yeah.
May is? Oh wow.
May 25th. We will be 5
years old. Jeez.
5 years. It's about time we kind of call it a thing.
Say that every fucking time, and I don't.
Every
know
year,
if
I'm
it's
like, let's just quit, guys. Let's just quit while we're ahead. No, I like joking like that because then when the time actually comes, no one will believe me. It'll be like the boy who cried wolf.
And then
Where did
nothing
PPR
comes
go?
from us.
Oh, didn't you know, dude? They just
He's been talking about forever. Haven't you guys been listening? Like every year he
dude,
says they're
like,
gonna
you
stop.
done, dude. He straight pulled
what
like he Van Halen that shit. Didn't you know?
Totally just collapse upon its age. Like,
If
Like
we're gonna do a
dying
drinking
star.
game,
We're gonna
If we're
go
gonna do a
after
drink-
a dying
yeah.
star.
if we do a drinking game, we're gonna have to. Oh man, I don't even know. I'm terrified to see what it could possibly be.
I'm thinking this. We either do another DVD commentary, or like a fucking live stream. We've never done that. I don't know. We'll leave it up to you guys. Fucking comment,
Sure.
man. Throw it in the YouTube. Whoa, this is a voluptuous fox.
Yeah.
bonus.
I
Remember I was talking about that artwork that was inspired by this game after the fact? You'll see a lot of it on the internet, but it's, not safe for work.
No,
Very not safe for work.
this is
not
like
safest for work.
yeah, but see, this isn't like deviant art trash. So
Well, yeah, and I think even this wasn't as bad as like what they eventually had to deal with like Dragon's Crown. Just I don't know. I personally don't mind it,
You're right,
but
like,
yeah, Dragon's
you
Crown.
don't see her running around, kind of thing. Like,
I guess
flopping
that's well, yeah. Once they're in motion, then it's a different story entirely.
all over.
yeah, then like a question of physics comes into play, and before you know it, you don't know what kind of taste you're left with in your mouth, but like it's mostly bad.
Breasts so big that they look like they're breathing.
Oh, like Chun-Li's thighs.
Oh god.
Man, what a combo! You kind of get that with
The Amazon.
I don't know.
well, no,
combo
yeah,
breaker.
definitely. I'll say Momohime kind of does have a little bit of a Chun-Li-ness kind of going.
Yeah, but she's actually realistically proportioned. I like that she's not even sexualized either.
It's like in Dragon's Crown, like the elf, character is kind of the same way. Like
Oh, okay,
it kind
not
of kicks
yet.
ass, but doesn't really,
Well, does she get sexualized later?
Yep, hot springs.
Oh man,
Well,
I spoke too soon.
yeah, I don't remember. This is definitely also one of those games that I haven't beaten. It's just, man, that's the one thing I'll hand it to Vanillaware. Dude, these games are fucking long. They are just so long in everything they do.
I got all the way through Momohime Sorio and about halfway through the other guys. Forget his name.
I want to say Suguro or something or other.
I almost want to say Shuntaro. I think that's what
Yeah,
it was.
it is Shintaro. You're right.
Is it? Yeah?
Yep. Shintaro!
In a world gone mad.
Oh man, sorry. Like, every time I think of Muramasa, I just kind of want to imitate like one of the hyenas from Lion King and go Muramasa, Muramasa, Muramasa! Yee! Fucking just go nuts with it. Anyway, man, so much exposition, dude. I don't feel like the presentation compensates my intrigue, my level of intrigue to care. There's so much shit that I didn't even listen to. I just wanted to, where do I go next to slash at things? That's all I want to know. But yeah, I mean, these heavy-handed tutorials are still like in Muramasa, but they're definitely, I think they're treated better. I still would like to know what a lot of the items do. Like, I don't even know if you can find exactly like the description of like the items in the menu. I want to say that you can, but.
Sorry, I was
Behold.
gone for a minute. I had to do some Google image searching.
Motherfucker.
Save search off. It's late at night, and I'm just feeling so right.
Wait, what?
Dropped a
Do I
quick
recognize
link
that
in the
song?
finger.
It's probably TGIF.
It is.
I don't know. That's what it sounds
Speaking
kind
of
of like.
TGIF, dude, you know what's dropping June 27th?
The Boy Meets World spinoff.
Oh, no, sequel. First off. Second.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry. I didn't want to mess with the Boy Meets World canon that you're so ingrained with. My apologies.
If,
Is it Girl Meets World or something like that?
yeah, it's Ben Savage. Don't say it like that. It's Ben Savage's and Diane Fisher's like about it. It's called Tango. What?
I didn't really like Boy Meets World.
Ah! They taught me everything I knew about love, Sarah.
He's from Canada. It's all Degrassi up there, man.
Oh yeah.
I
all I
didn't
got.
care for either show, I'll be honest.
Okay, fair enough. You're the only one.
I was watching Gargoyles, let's be real.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
But then there's Drake. God, you can't ever get enough of Drake. Man, motherfucker, just all the different hats that Drake wears.
Mhm.
Well, so here, like I said, this is again going back to the fault of the world that we were explaining.
Still exploring, yeah.
And like I want to take that back. Okay, so I did mention earlier how there isn't really a waypoint arrow. Okay, so I lied. There is. What I wanted to say is that it's terrible. Like,
it shows you like a general direction.
yeah, exactly. And then like it doesn't really explain itself very well when the path branches, which, as you can notice, I mean, there's a potential branch for it to basically go 3 ways. Left, right, up, or down. 4 ways, actually. Left, right, up, or down. And, I mean, like, here, we see the lock, and generally, I'll have to get, like, a right... I don't want to say talisman, but I'll have to get the... No, sword. I have to get the right sword that's able to charm the seal and break it, which I believe I can do. That was the barrier that we saw at the very beginning of this playthrough. So I believe that the sword that I earned from the boss should allow me to do my thing. So here's what happens when the seal is broken. But you're gonna run into a lot of these seals, and there's
Not
gonna be
know
like
how to
so
break
now.
them.
Why would the arrow turn around on us, fellas? We just
Yeah.
came from that direction. I could only assume that I'm gonna have to climb up higher, and then assert that the situation is gonna demand for a more aerial approach. But
I assume that it's because that women don't know directions.
Oh, God.
wow,
She
You
could
went there,
figure out
didn't
the
you?
map.
you
I'm
totally
sorry.
went there.
I couldn't help myself. It's so easy.
So here we go. Like, so we're in this cave, and you're gonna see like a little loop around at the end that's gonna take me up higher. Now, what does the arrow suggest this? Did it suggest this at all earlier?
Arrow's telling you to go back the way you came, and just keep on doing that until you get pissed off and stop playing.
Yeah.
Can I just mention the soundtrack in this area is just the best. It's really good.
It's upbeat, that's for sure.
And it's also contextual as well. So like when you're fighting enemies, it changes and then it sort of switches
Oh.
back as you're done. Yeah, doesn't skip a
It
beat.
gets
It's
more
great.
intense when there's one last enemy left. I really dug that.
Yeah.
I will, yeah, because you know, I don't want to say that the soundtracks are bad in any of the Vanillaware games. So that's not.
It was never really a focal point, though.
Yeah, exactly. They never really stuck out. But in this game,
Wow, this game, yeah.
yeah, Muramasa, I'm down with that jam, sir. I'll get on with that noise.
I want to say that this is one of Hitoshi Sakamoto's finest works.
And like Sakamoto did he do any of the work for like the other like Vanillaware games?
Oh yeah, he did the music for. Fuck, I think all of them. Let me double check on Princess Crown, but I think he did them for all.
Princess Crown had like some pretty good jams. When we get to that video, you know, dig. So right here, I'm gonna need like a different sword for it, and you really, I still don't understand if you pick up swords through boss battles or just objective completion. Like here, I'm just kind of messing around with what I've got in my inventory because I picked up 2 new swords since I started this playthrough. But yeah, I think if anything, the game does do you the courtesy of like, if you examine it, it'll immediately pick like the sword strong enough to fucking do it. And I don't think there's a way to level up swords either. You just essentially pick them up as you go, and that's what determines your strength. Kind of don't like that frenetic approach to it. I kind of want a little bit more stability, but at the same time, like I like that it, if anything, it kind of forces you to be more skillful. And the combat system affords that. The combat system is so fucking complex and has so many different nuances that it does demand a certain amount of skill to get through without getting fucked. So,
And I'm like, I like how the swords have different properties too. You know, I mean, maybe not in terms of your attacking, but just visually, you know, it's nice to see all the differences.
well, they'll
with
have
the
certain
weapons.
like there's swords that are like better for
Like this one.
reflection.
Yeah, like this one has like different properties, but yeah.
Yeah, it's wrapped, it's coated in like this completely different flame visually, which is pretty cool. There's also like it gives you a new power strike, though the power strike isn't like the most I would say, comfortable to pull off, so I don't really do it all that often. I think I may have done it once in this playthrough. I don't exactly remember. But yeah, see, this is where we're now finding some consistency with the navigation. But as you can see that map, I mean, you're seeing little squares everywhere, and these represent rooms. And yeah, I don't know at some point if I go up. I don't know at some point if I go right. I'm just you gotta bump and grind, man. You gotta find your
figure out where you're going. Mm-hmm.
Because like those little goes with the arrows, they're on every exit. So like those aren't a good like fucking hint either. So oh yeah, you gotta find that monk that stole Momohime. Right now you're Jinkuro or Junko Jin, and Junko Jeans needs to find Momohime.
Oh Lord.
In order to ensure that like he doesn't.
What are you saying? Are you saying Junko jeans?
Yeah, Junko Jeans.
I always called them Jinko jeans, but there's no I. I don't know why I always call it that.
Hitoshi Sakamoto only did part of the soundtrack for this, actually. There was a number of different composers, among which Masaharu Iwata is also in there as well.
Ooh, so maybe that's what makes it stand out, is the fact that it's got like a hot mess of work as opposed to just Sakamoto.
For sure. So it's not just, and also like a bunch of them from Muramasa did other games, like Grand Knight's History, for example, which is on PlayStation Portable. And I know Masaharu Iwata did it. I think he did for Grand Knight's History. Just want to take a look here. Yeah, Masaharu Iwata's in there, along with 4 others.
I do appreciate too that like they're like, and essentially it's only common sense that you can really. Oh god, these fucking things. They look like the thing, like that accompanied that little creature that like hangs out with Jabba the Hutt. Like what is it? Oh man, I don't know. Either that or something that I'd picture in Labyrinth. Some Jim Henson ass shit, dude. Some gross Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, David Bowie, Harrison Ford, Star Wars shit. First thrust victory. Oh man. So I don't know.
Are you going to play this one now?
What do you mean?
Grand Knight's History?
Grand Knight's History. Is that another Vanillaware game?
Dun,
It
dun.
is.
Yeah, I told you there was another one on PSP, right? This is it.
Oh man, so you're dropping a bomb on us right now.
Oh wait, hey, it isn't Grim Grimoire also a Vanillaware game?
It is. Maybe I should play that for play.
Oh,
shit.
Dude, if you want to handle that for play, because I'm terrible at that game. I completely forgot.
I'm probably not much better.
Does
but,
anyone
we can
have
do
Grand Knight's History? Or
I don't.
No, I
I
don't.
can actually look it up though.
I'm looking it up right now.
I had no idea that this fucking game existed. Wow.
Yep, there you go. That's a. I didn't know either.
Cheap. Holy crap, cheap. It's like $20.
I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't say that's holy crap cheap. I would just say cheap.
It's still reasonable.
Okay, then how about $11.99 plus 6 shipping?
All right.
That is quite cheap.
Is it on PSN?
It might be.
I don't know. I've never seen it on PSN.
Dude,
Let's
get. Oh my god! Can we shut the fuck up and look at what's going on right now?
Yep.
Oh,
Hey,
it's
it's the
so
map.
pretty.
That
Oh,
map.
it's so gorgeous. It's the map. It's
Musashi.
the map. I'm the map. Sorry, I'm the only one, huh? Only Dora fan.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yum 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 Delicioso. All right. Well. Whoa! I completely forgot about these little
guys.
dark spermy dudes. Fucking
The dark stream, right?
yeah, you can say that, like some evil knuckle children flying about. I didn't even get the chance to really end these dudes. I remember like I don't know if they're like, and I got that combo going. I don't know if I hit 100. Oh, 96. Fuck!
Ooh man,
What a
almost.
What a cock tease.
The
they
woolly
escape.
eyeballs have escaped.
Yeah, I didn't think that
That's
like
one way of
enemies
saying
could
it.
do that too.
Woolly eyeballs.
Grand History Nights? What is it?
Grand Knight's History.
Grand Knight's History. Dude, how did
Is
this completely
dirt
slip?
cheap. Yeah, I'm gonna get this. I think this weekend.
How did this completely slip past our radar? Because I know we started about doing this Vanillaware thing, and
I'm just saying, man. I knew about it.
oh, it's Japan only, dude.
Yeah.
Oh shit, really? No wonder.
That's why I never even knew about it. Well, let me see if it's on PSN. Oh, actually, maybe I'll have to use my $624 yen on that. All right, let's see here. All right. I would say this is very irresponsible of us to like not be this prepared. Oh, whoa, dude, it's physical only. UMD.
But affordable.
Yeah, it is affordable.
Quite affordable.
Yeah,
I thought for sure it'd be like $50, right? But apparently not.
So hold on, just so that we know we don't make this mistake again. So we've got Princess Crown, we've got Odin Sphere, Muramasa, Grand Knight History. Did I mention Grim Grimoire already?
You said that we probably should do that one, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got Dragon's Crown. I believe that's all of them. I could have sworn Vanillaware only really did. And like, doesn't Princess Crown have sequels? That's the one thing that was really confusing.
Wait, hold on. There is another one here. It's called Kumatanshi, and it is for DS.
Wow, I had no idea, actually.
It's also developed. It's co-developed by Ashinaga Oji-san.
Why should we know about Ashinaga Oji-san? Where
I don't know, I'm just saying that is what they co-developed with Vanillaware on this.
That's weird because they're very proprietary in everything they do. Strange, man. We learned a lot, and it's so funny that we're getting into this because honestly, we're in what I would honestly say is like one of the prettiest parts of Muramasa. Like, have you guys noticed like all of the cherry blossoms like in the foreground blowing away in the effects? Like again, and it doesn't look like they're some part of like recycled animation or whatnot. They look very natural. Like I'm still amazed that like we pulled this off. Like, and like even all the effects. Like, do you see that giant lantern to represent the very close vicinity of the foreground?
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, nice.
yeah, there's just like there's so much going on, and at one point, like there's no points at which this game slows down.
No,
like,
yeah.
That's the weirdest thing to me, that there's no slowdown in this game.
Well, when you consider it, right? The Wii ran at 750 megahertz, whereas the PS2 ran at 250. Thereabouts. Yeah.
Well, the other thing was I think no one was really trying to push the Wii graphically. You know, I mean, there's games like Xenoblade Chronicles, which, you know, it doesn't look the best, but the amount of content, the amount of stuff going on screen is surprising for a Wii game. It's just that developers weren't pushing it. They were more about the casual experience. They didn't want to push the limits of, you know, what the system could do. But that's what you get with a Vanillaware game. You know, say what you will about them as a developer, if they're niche or if they're doing only certain kinds of games, they'll push your hardware with what they've got going on. I mean, there's no way they couldn't. You know what I mean? And I'd love to see them do a next-gen game. I couldn't imagine what that would be like. I just hope they get the chance to do it.
It would probably make our minds blow out of our nose.
I'm waiting for that opportunity. I just hope that they get the chance to do it because, you know,
I want a leaky brain.
I want to leak all my orifices. But I don't know if they'll get the chance. I know these games are awesome, but they're niche games still.
I think they will get the chance if they go PS4. Nothing against the... Well, I don't know, maybe...
No, you're right, though. Xbox, I don't think would embrace this.
No, I mean, well, they're trying with the 25 ID program, but like at ID, I mean, you know, we're seeing a lot more indie stuff come out. But this sort of, I feel like Sony would go out of the way to even promote this. So we didn't really touch on it, but that is one of the trials that you can come across and just tackle. It straight up told me, dude, you are not strong enough to fucking do this.
Don't try it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I figured I'd try it anyway because at this point, I am at an impasse again. I have the extremely unhelpful arrow, and then, you know, I've got all of these opened, like, facets and Metroidvania fucking areas to go through, and not a whole lot. Like, I know I can go up, but I came from up. And I don't believe there was really any sort of any sort of clue or any mention of like a particular route there. So I don't know. And like I feel like the environment as well, it like communicates like here there's bridges to go about. So like for example, did you see what just happened?
Awesome.
Hold on. Did you see what happened? I went down. So I don't know if we kept note. I went down. That bridge was in front of us, right in the foreground.
Yeah.
So I went down, but did you see the room that I'm in? I'm in a room that's up.
Are you?
Yeah. Wait after this battle sequence. That's the shit that I'm talking about. Like that's the one thing that really fucking why? And then I'm fighting these Kappa-ass Kappas. Which, like, I don't know, they're in every Japanese game. The Japanese hate these fucking creatures.
No, it's true.
They really give you every opportunity to end their lives miserably.
Their sole purpose is to core the assholes out of children, so...
What?
Yeah, seriously, they will eat your asshole, according to legend.
Wow. The more you know.
So you better believe kids stay away from the river.
How did I go up? Why was going down up? This isn't some inverted GoldenEye 64 shit. Why? and now I'm fighting some fucking Tengus, which I will say, man, some like the Japanese mythological lore for the Japanese creatures are pretty fucking sweet in the way they have them done. Also, definitely more tasteful here as opposed to like their approach to like Western mythological creatures, like Dragon's Crown's Harpy, for example.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh man, fucking, I'm like, I don't know, if I were to travel back in time, because like we mentioned the Odin Sphere and review this, I would definitely love this way more than Odin Sphere, just because it's less of a hassle to play. But there are definitely, like, it's very infrequent in there where it then immediately becomes a hassle again. So, alright, guess I'm going the right way. Fucking...
You guess.
What could be at the end? There's
but
a big old question
what's
mark.
this? I don't have the right goddamn sword.
Uh-huh.
So, here I am, left back to my devices, and... Oh, man... I don't know. Am I in the minority here, guys? Like, Sarah, I knew you put me in a minority when it came to Odin Sphere, but talk to me about Muramasa. Is this some shit that I can forgive? Because I'm finding it really hard to, man. Finding it pretty hard to.
Only because, like, I don't know if you get to it in this one here, in this play video, but, like, when you get to creating your own swords, that's when stuff really starts to open up.
But see, you've made that same remark towards Odin Sphere, like, oh, well, it gets better once you finish the Valkyrie's story.
It's true, but this only has 2 different storylines, so it sort of gets to business a lot quicker. Like, this is only 40 minutes out of something like 10 hours of play, right?
I almost feel like Vanillaware always has games like that, where it gets better, but you have to kind of trudge through, kind of repetitive bullshit initially. Like, it pays you off, but it takes a while to get to. Like, Dragon's Crown does the same thing, where you can't play online multiplayer with anyone until you've got to, like, level 16. Like, what's the reason for that? There's no reason for it other than they just do that. Like, just to do it, Yeah.
And,
I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to lean you towards mastery while playing the game for the first time. They want to make sure that you know what you're doing before they really throw the impressive stuff at you.
But see,
it's all about doing that tutorial. If you get that tutorial knocked out first, you're fine. You don't have to worry about any of this. You got it after that.
But dude, from what I remember, as far as my first, play of the tutorial, really, it's just combat. Like, and like the game, like this game does a very okay. So Odin Sphere, it explains like, okay, when you reach these areas, you can these are the hub areas. You can just hang out here, get to know some of the characters, stock up on supplies, do things. In fact, that's the one thing when I was playing Princess Crown, when we do that video, Princess Crown more or less is an even more broken Odin Sphere. They're way too similar. Almost, if anything, like the one major difference is like combat. But as far as the structure of like moving along the game, the linearity and the flow, almost identical. Almost. So here, we've got Muramasa, we've got an open-ass world. I mean, there's no breaks. Shit's going on constantly. You finish one thing, you're immediately like already set on your way to get to the next order of business. And yet, these are the roadblocks you encounter absolutely fuck all direction. Well, like what's going on? And see, I see this red symbol here. What does the red symbol mean? Are there enemies here? Is it like something? And like these enemies are not the same enemies that I encountered before. So it's almost like I don't understand if I necessarily have to hang out and grind for a bit to like earn a sword, because I know you don't just earn them from like doing objectives or fighting bosses. Like you can earn them. Yeah, you can earn them as drops. So like I don't.
Basically, like you collect the souls of your enemies and you bring them to Muramasa himself to imbue into more and more powerful swords.
Well, yeah, but I haven't even gotten to that point yet. It's just
that's what I mean, right? It's coming, but
yeah, but even then, that's still time consuming. The game in itself is just very time consuming, and like
I don't know. If you ask me, I think as with most other Vanillaware games, patience is the key, right?
And see, I'm in denial here because I'm pretty sure if I had the right sword,
I want this.
And I'm able to cook now. What? Why would you wait for me to pause?
Oh yeah, by the way,
tell me that.
By the way, rice balls, you can make them.
You can make them. They're a thing. And see, like I want to say, I don't know if I'm just noticing it now, but I notice how the arrow's going back. It's telling me, okay, no, dude, go back. I guarantee you, if I go into that other fucking room that I just left, it's gonna God damn it, see? What is this shit? I don't know where to go!
You must go between the worlds.
Dude.
You have to be forward and also
like,
backwards.
Here, I'm opening up this map. What? Where do you see a
Go
clue?
there. Go right there to the flashing one that's not on the map at all.
Yeah.
Go there. Flashing one. Jump there. Just figure it out, pussy.
Oh man, just blues through that shit.
Japan doesn't give a fuck about what you want.
But at this point, yeah, you've witnessed Press Pause Radio Play. Signing off, Lost.